Welcome to Body Hack and Build a Better You, the podcast where we unlock the secret to living a longer, healthier life and create a bloom zone in our life and within our family. I'm your host, Michaela Morell, and I'm here to provide you with the tools and knowledge to empower you to build a better you, one essential building block at a time. In today's episode, we're diving into the hot topic that has sparked endless debates: supplements. Are they really necessary, or can we get everything we need from food alone? In a world where shelves are stacked with pills, powders, and vitamins claiming to boost our health, it is easy to feel overwhelmed. So do supplements truly live up to the hype, or are they just another trend? Join us as we unpack this science, talk about what our body actually needs, and explore whether supplements are a health necessity or just an expensive habit. If this episode inspired you, please consider leaving a review. It really helps the podcast to grow. Thanks for tuning in. I want to remind you that this podcast is for educational entertainment purposes only. Read the disclaimer in the show notes, and I remind you to always consult your healthcare provider if you plan to make any dietary changes. But it's time for the episode. Let's dive in. Hi, and welcome to my podcast, Body Hacking, Build a Better You. I'm your host, Michaela Morell, and this podcast is all about understanding the body in a way that we can optimize our nutritional intake. And you may not have heard this, but I also have a company called Food Changes Lives, because I truly believe that the food can change our life either for the better or for the worse. So understanding how the body, what kind of composition we have, and understanding what it's built up with is the key when we want to optimize our health. So today I want to talk about a conversation I had yesterday with two lovely people I met. They're in retirement age, and they were asking me, Michaela, can I know if the supplements I'm taking is working? And to be able to answer that question, we have to understand that there are some things in our body that are essential. And when something is essential, it means that the body cannot produce it ourselves. Some nutrients that the body needs, the body is able to produce themselves. But when something is essential, it simply means that the body needs it. The only way we can get it into our body is by eating it. And we have some stuff that are essential in a way that if we're not getting it, we end up dying. So for example, a lot of you have heard vitamin C is essential. If we're not getting enough of vitamin C, we die of scurvy, for example. So there have been vitamins and minerals and proteins and fatty acids that are named essential simply because they're important for functions in our body and for us to be able to build a healthy body. So we have essential vitamins, essential minerals, essential proteins, and essential fatty acids. When we're looking at, are we getting enough? We have to understand that if we have symptoms, there is something going on in our body. And what is usually going on? Well, usually, and in 80 to 90% of the cases, the reason why we're having symptoms is because we're not able to create the energy we need. We're not able to have the cell function we need, because a healthy body begins with a healthy cell. So if you're taking supplementations today and you're experiencing symptoms that you are not happy with, well, most likely the supplementation regime you're on is not working, or you are not taking sufficient levels, or maybe some of the levels you are taking is too high and it's blocking off so that the body is not able to absorb other nutrients they need. Because there is a lot of vitamins and minerals, for example, that are using the same carriers in the body. And if you are over supplementing with a nutrient that are using the same carrier, then they may not be able to pick up the other nutrients they need. So if you're today struggling with some symptoms that you are not happy with, I would say that most of the time we are struggling with symptoms because we are struggling with the body not having what it needs. Because a body is self-healing under the right circumstances, and we need to figure out what are those right circumstances. we can see that if you, for example, have magnesium deficiency, it can be very hard to measure that in the blood. I know doctors have a test for it, but the facts about magnesium that the doctors may not know is that you have about, if you have 100% of magnesium in your body that you need, only 2% of the magnesium is in your blood. And your heart needs magnesium. So whenever you start getting a little bit too low in your blood, the body takes from the 98% of the other magnesium we have out in our body and fill up the levels in our blood to optimal levels, because it's so crucial for our heart to have good levels of magnesium. So when we are malnourished of magnesium, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and so on, our depots that we're having in the rest of our body can start to be emptied. And you can't tell in the blood because the blood will always show perfect levels. So the day it starts showing in your blood that you're actually magnesium deficient, that day it's already too late most of the times. Like, we're so close to death that it is crucial to get enough, but it's going to take a long time to build up so that we have enough of magnesium in every single cell in our muscle tissue too, in every single cell in our body. It's not only what's in the blood that matters when we're looking at a healthy body. It's what's in every single cell of our body. And we have about 37 trillion of cells. And I'm going to say that over and over and over again, because I truly believe that a healthy body begins with a healthy cell. And scientists are looking at what is causing disease, and they can link back most of health issues being linked to inflammation. And the inflammation starts already on a cellular level. It starts with how many pro versus anti-inflammatory building blocks are building up our cell membranes. Because when we're having too many pro-inflammatory building blocks, what is happening then is that our cell membranes become too hard and nutrients are not able to get into the cell. So even if you're having a fantastic cell, a fantastic body, but the nutrients are not able to get in, guess what? What is happening inside of the cell? It's inside of the cell we are creating the energy that we need daily. And if we're not able to create that energy, what is happening? So we have scientists talking about all health issues being related to inflammation. We also have a lot of scientists talking about that disease might happen because the cells are not able to create energy. Because when we're having cells that cannot create energy, we're not going to be able to have a body that is functioning. So either way, the cell is super important. We need our energy production. We need to have low levels of inflammation. And that is something that most scientists are agreeing upon, no matter what camp they are in, if they believe it's mainly because of inflammation or mainly because of low energy production that is causing the diseases that we're struggling with. What I do know is for a cell to become healthy, we need all the essential proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals. And if we're not getting it, you may be very good at getting all the essential proteins and all the essential vitamins into your diet. But what if they are not getting into the cell because the cell is not healthy, because the cell is too hard, because the cell have too many pro-inflammatory building blocks building up the cell membrane? And it can be very frustrating to be out there today, trying and trying and trying. And me myself is a testament to that. I ate healthy. I did everything according to the books. I tried my best to take as much responsibility over my life. I detoxed my life. I was mainly having glass instead of plastic in my house. I did not want anyone to buy my kids' toys, for example, because a lot of the times the toys that are bought is full of toxins, and I wanted to be able to control that. So I told people that came, don't buy any gifts or give me the money and I'll buy something to, and write it's from you, but it's something that my kid really needs. I have tried my best to not use toxic things in my skincare routine, in my shampoo routine, in my, like, I don't use perfumes. I tried my best to stay as toxic free, to eat as clean as possible, and yet my body kept on getting sicker and sicker. And it was frustrating because here I am sitting on all of this knowledge and my body did not respond. And the last key to my health journey was that to truly understand cellular health, how the cell is built up, and cell function. And later on in this podcast, I'm going to do a series just on this. And I'm going to bring on a lot of guests sharing their stories of what happened after we started measuring how the cell was built up, how we corrected it, and how they're feeling today and how it transformed their lives. So watch out for that series to come. I'm so excited to be able to do that for you guys. But first, let's keep on talking. Let's keep on talking about, do we need supplementations? And in a perfect world, we would not need supplementations. In a perfect world, we would still eat as our ancestors. We would still eat organ meats. We would still eat brain, liver, heart, and so on. Because a lot of those organs are containing essential fatty acids, essential vitamins and minerals. They're already processed in a way, absorbed in a way, contained in a way that it's very easy for our body to absorb it. But the facts are that the human body is not that great on absorbing vitamins and minerals from all fruit and veggies. Especially veggies can be problematic to a lot of people. We can absorb some and we love them and we should keep on eating them. This is not the podcast telling you not to eat them. Eat them. But the amount we need to eat in order to absorb the nutrients have increased so much, so it's hard for us to get enough and sufficient levels. And not only sufficient levels for our everyday life, but enough to actually build on to the levels that we might have already disrupted a little bit. We all have been teenagers. We all have been in phases where we are not eating the healthiest. When I was pregnant with my third child, for example, the only thing I felt like eating was white bread and chocolate. Did I allow myself to eat it every day? No. But was that what I wanted? Yes. And did I eat it some days? Yes, I did. We all have had days and weeks and months and sometimes years where we have not been taking care of our body in optimal ways. And we have then been taking some of our depots that we're having of the vitamins and minerals that we need. And another conversation I had yesterday was this lady talking about after a pregnancy, she started developing allergies towards the sun and heat. So she gets rashes on her body. But it happened after the pregnancy, and she was wondering what was the correlation between her pregnancy and this showing up. And then I explained to her that when we're building a healthy baby, we need certain nutrients, we need certain fats and proteins. And if we're not getting enough from our own food, what is happening? The body have two choices: either create a baby that is not perfect or take the nutrients from somewhere else, and it must come from where we have them, and that is our own nutrients in our own body. This is one of the reasons, if you go out and research it, the mommy's brain is actually decreased in volume from before and after the baby is born if we're not getting enough of nutrients, of the fatty acids, of the DHA needed. So we are then taking from our own brain to give to our baby's brain because we want to create a healthy baby, of course. And if the body is so malnourished that we don't have any extra, most of the times we're not going to even be able to become pregnant, or the body's going to reject the baby because it understands that we cannot create a healthy baby without risking the mother's help. So nutrients, of course, there are multiple reasons why it could happen, but I'm just saying one of the reasons are that. And it's pretty logical. If we don't have the building material for a house, it is going to be really hard to build a house. A baby is a miracle. And thanks to our amazing body, and thanks to food and clean water and nutrients that we're eating, most of the times we're creating amazing babies. But we can also see a disturbing rate of couples struggling with becoming pregnant, and they have several failed pregnancies and IVF tries behind them. And in that case, I have helped a lot of women out there that are struggling, that only have failed pregnancies in their backpack when they're coming to me. And they're starting to get stressed. They're over 40 years of age. And the only thing they're longing for is a healthy baby. I'm not saying that you're going to, with 100% certainty, become pregnant and have a healthy baby if you're following what I'm telling you. But so far, I've seen great success. And so far, I'm still in belief of our body. It's an amazing vehicle. And if we're creating better circumstances for the body to function, the body will function. Sorry. But if you still have symptoms and you're struggling with your health, and you feel like you're doing everything in your power and you're taking supplements and you're eating healthy, I'm here. I'm here, and I can see you and I can feel your pain. And if you follow my podcast, I will help you with the tools that you need to create better circumstances for your body to be able to function better. Hey guys, if you enjoyed today's episode, I encourage you to do one thing for me. Think of one person you want to share this podcast with and copy the link and send it right away. Thanks for playing an important role in the Blue Zone community. And if you want to keep on building a better you, one essential building block at a time, hit that subscribe button. See you in the next episode.